We're the first article of the Constitution. We're a co-equal branch of government. It's time we act like it.
You spent decades as an executive at George Soros' hedge fund, being very successful, making billions of dollars. Back then, you would always rail against deficit and debt. What's happened?
Again, that it is smart spending. That what are we spending for? Are we
tax cuts that mostly go to billionaires such as yourself, while throwing 16 million people off their health care coverage?
These cuts were not just naturally going to happen. All of this crisis is directly as a result of the Republicans' tax bill that they passed over the summer, what Trump used to call the big, beautiful bill, but then it became so deeply unpopular he now doesn't even mention it.
Has Russ Vought suddenly become a shrinking violet? Suddenly too shy? The chief architect of Project 2025? Maybe he is ducking the oversight of this committee because he doesn't want to testify about Project 2025.
Well, I will continue to mention it because I will remind people that, again, over $1 trillion of cuts to health care, it was the Republicans, almost all of them, who voted for this.
Mr. Chair, the gentleman from Kansas is right. It is a big, beautiful bill for billionaires. I would also remind the gentleman that this bill would put 410,000 people in his state of Kansas at risk of losing Medicaid.
Republicans deeply care, passionately care about the national debt when there's a Democrat in the White House. Then when there's a Republican in the White House and they have an opportunity to pass through trillions of dollars worth of tax cuts, they couldn't care less.
It turns out after cutting Medicaid and cutting the Affordable Care Act and cutting nutrition assistance and cutting education programs and on and on and on, even after all of that, all of those cuts, as large as they are, only pay for about 25% of the tax cuts for the rich. So how does this legislation pay for the rest of it? More added to the national credit card. Our national debt will explode as a result of this, to the tune of almost $4 trillion more added to the national debt. I never want to hear, ever again, anyone on the other side lecture us about deficit and debt.